Matthew 7, 1 through 6 speaks to the follower of Jesus Christ about judgment. And oftentimes, Christians especially, will use the first verse of this chapter to say, don't judge me, when they're doing things maybe that they may feel some guilt, or inwardly they know they're guilty, or for whatever reason they don't want to be under scrutiny, But I want to read these verses, Matthew 7, 1 through 6, and see what it actually says. It says, "Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. Why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye and do not consider the plank in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, 'Let me remove the speck from your eye,' and look, a plank is in your own eye? Hypocrite, first remove the plank from your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you in pieces." So we see, excuse me, that these verses are not saying not to judge, but first we should place ourselves under scrutiny. In Alcoholics Anonymous, which I was a member of for many years, we called it the self-evaluation. And we would evaluate ourselves first and put ourselves under scrutiny first. We must remember that whatever measure we use to judge others, we will be judged by that measure. So first, it is so important to place ourselves under judgment, to place ourselves under scrutiny, and get ourselves right before God and man, with the help of Jesus Christ, of course, because on our own, we can do nothing. Jesus says in John chapter 15, he said, "I am the vine, you are the branches. Abide in me, and I will abide in you. For apart from me, you can do nothing." And I found that to be true. Of course, Jesus is truth. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And so abiding in him is abiding in truth, and we apply this truth to our life, and we scrutinize ourselves by that truth. And of course now, if we anticipate to be merciful to others, we should be merciful to ourselves, but yet truthful, even when it hurts or it's a truth we don't like to see or consider. It says, consider the plank in your own eye. So we need to consider this before we go to remove a speck from our brother's eye. Now, he says in that verse 6, "Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine." Isn't that judgment? To consider a dog or to consider a swine and make that discernment that this is a dog or this is a swine, that is a judgment. So we don't need to be or mean to be unkind in our judgments, but rather truthful. And truth and love must go hand in hand. God is love and God is truth. So we must apply love to all of our judgments and truth. But we aren't helpful to some, if we ignore and if we don't try to help them remove the speck. If you've ever had a speck in your eye, it can be really uncomfortable, and it's a kindness to help remove that speck. But we must exercise kindness and love and discernment, and always pray and abide in Jesus, and not to go out on our own in our judgments and helping remove specks, but always by the wisdom of the Lord Jesus Christ in us, to apply love to a situation, and having put ourselves under judgment and discernment first, and consider these things and clean up our own act first before we go and try to help somebody else clean up. So yes, we are to exercise judgment. We absolutely are to exercise judgment every day in our lives. We exercise judgment in what we eat or what we spend or what we do. I'm not saying we exercise good judgment all the time, but we are exercising judgments of one sort or another. So Jesus is just teaching us how to judge, and not telling us not ever to judge. That's not reasonable, nor is it loving. We could say it's not loving to judge. It's not loving to judge having not cleaned up our own act first, and not and making our judgments in hostility and not love. So anyways, I hope that is helpful. Jesus teaches us how to judge, and we can come to him and expect that he will always lead us in truth. And so thank you for sharing this with me. God bless and keep you.